The 80s were one of many curious decades in the world we live in, mainly because they were in a time when certain types of music were on the rise. Disco had just died, but it's never truly died. And the age of big hair, big guitars, and outlandish music to rock the soul rose up. Through that came a lot of potential superstars, and many indeed rose to the top of their respective charts. The question though is, how did they do when the 80s ended and musical tastes started to shift once again? Allow us to show you 80s music stars then and now. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. a-ha. For many out there, the name a-ha will forever be associated with a single song, Take On Me. The all-time classic song not only had a great sound, lyrics, and beat, but a music video that is still talked about and beloved to this day. However, when it comes to the actual band a-ha, it's fair to say that their success was a bit more localized, depending on where you heard them. Because in the United States, they were very much known only for Take On Me. But when it came to Europe, they were much more popular and had a lot of hit songs there. They split in 2010 only to reunite in 2015 to release their 10th studio album, Cast in Steel, and kick off a world tour. In January 2021, Morten, who's also released 6 solo albums, made headlines when he was unmasked as the Viking on the UK version of The Masked Singer. And yes, they're still raking in the money for Take On Me. Number 7. Cyndi Lauper. At one point in time in the early 1980s, Cyndi Lauper was one of the biggest names around, mainly because of her song Girls Just Wanna Have Fun. Her song was so popular that the then WWF, World Wrestling Federation, brought her into their world as a celebrity guest to promote their women's wrestling for a bit, and had one of their wrestlers, the late Captain Lou Albano, be in her music video for the track. While you may not know about her tracks post that doesn't mean she hasn't had a lot of success. Far from it, in fact. In 2013, she earned a Tony Award for Best Original Score for her work on the hit Broadway musical Kinky Boots, making her the first woman to individually win in that category. A truly great honor indeed. She's released 11 studio albums, including a country album, has done voice acting, and appeared in various TV shows over the years. Number 6. Paula Abdul. Many of you out there know Paula Abdul for what she did later in life with her fame, but in the 80s, she was a megastar via her tracks Opposites Attract and Forever Your Girl. And with her talent for both dancing and singing, she seemed like a talent that would continue on forever. And it did, for a time. However, her personal thing was anything but rocking. She had multiple failed marriages, had substance issues at times, and you wondered if she would pull it together. However, in 2002, she got the lifeline of a lifetime when she was asked to judge the show American Idol alongside Randy Jackson and Simon Cowell. She became a mainstay for the show, and the fan-favorite judge because of how kind and honest she was with the contestants. When she left the show in 2009, most people agreed that it wasn't the same without her. Since then, she's also appeared as a judge on reality television shows like The X Factor, So You Think You Can Dance, and The Masked Dancer, further proving that her input is still valued in the world. She still goes on tour occasionally, and proving she's forever your girl. Number 5. Tiffany. Tiffany was a celebrity and musician that many young people couldn't help but want to emulate. She was down to earth, she wore denim, and her songs like I Think We're Alone Now made people just want to dance. And this was proven in season 1 of The Umbrella Academy, where the main characters did just that to this song. Furthermore, she was known for her mall tours and thus really connected with people. While she did continue with music for a while, nowadays you can find the star in Music City, where she runs her own boutique in East Nashville. Yep, she's a fashion girl now, and she's doing quite well for herself. She also did a solo tour that ironically ended just before the global pandemic. So clearly Tiffany still has some good luck on her side. Number 4. Bono U2. There's literally no denying that the group U2 and their lead man Bono are one of the most successful groups that really rose to fame in the 1980s. Granted, they were actually formed in 1976, but it was their various songs and performances in the 1980s that really sent things up for them. They were even at the legendary Live Aid concert in 1985, and many critics said that their performance was one of the highlights of the show, despite their performance not fully going as planned, thanks to Bono interacting with the crowd. Fast forward through the decades, and you'll see that U2 is still one of the most beloved groups in the world, thanks to the songs written and performed by Bono. You can't help but sing along with It's a Beautiful Day and other tracks, and their tracks have been featured in all sorts of TV shows and movies over the years, and won countless awards. They even made a song for the World Cup via Get On Your Boots. They have been a bit controversial at times, but that's just how things roll for this very passionate group. Number 3. Janet Jackson. While most people think of Michael when talking about the Jackson family, Janet is still by and large one of the best success stories from that family, especially since she was the youngest. At first, she, like the majority of her siblings, went and performed with her family. But by 1982, she had signed a contract to do a solo career and started to really turn heads with the songs she sang and the way she performed. Not unlike Michael, she was very energetic and full of passion when she performed on stage. Her cutting-edge sound and complex choreography became a catalyst in the growth of MTV, enabling her to rise to prominence while breaking gender and racial barriers in the process. Fast forward to the 1990s, and she was named the second best-selling recording artist of the decade behind only Mariah Carey. Sadly, many people choose to remember her for what happened in the Super Bowl halftime show with Justin Timberlake, despite that not being her fault at all. Having sold over 100 million records, Jackson is one of the world's best-selling music artists in history, proving that while she may have her family's name, she made her own way in the world. Number 2. Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie first started out in the music world in the 1970s via the group The Commodores. But when he returned to a solo career in the 1980s, he really exploded in popularity, not the least of which was because of his big hair, powerful voice, and the songs he sang, like All Night Long.
Let the music play on. Everybody sing.
He too has had a lot of sales success in the realm of music, having sold over 90 million records worldwide, and being featured in TV shows and movies all over. And naturally, a man of his talents has received all sorts of awards, including a Kennedy Center honor, but many of the newer generation no doubt know him as a judge on the rebooted American Idol. Number 1. Madonna. Yeah, we really can't end this list any other way, can we? Come on, it's Madonna. For those that forgot, Madonna got her start all the way back in 1983 with the solo album named after herself. It was after that powerful debut that she really hit her stride and started to make musical tracks that led to her being one of the biggest and best stars in the history of music. With sales of over 300 million records worldwide, Madonna is certified as the best-selling female recording artist of all time by Guinness World Records. She is the most successful solo artist in the history of the US Billboard Hot 100 chart, and holds the record for the most #1 singles by a female artist in Australia, Canada, Italy, Spain, and the United Kingdom. Oh yeah, and she's in the Hall of Fame, which she got on her first year of eligibility. Madonna is still making music and touring to this day, and no one really can stop her from being, well, Madonna. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at music stars of the 1980s and how they've grown since their time in the 80s? Which of these artists do you remember listening to or hearing your family members talk about as you were growing up? Which of them do you personally feel has had the most success in their careers? And which ones do you think didn't get the chance to shine beyond what they could do? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.